Hey everybody, Jem Schofield of the C47 and another episode of Gearbox 2.0. In this episode, I want to talk to you about, very spontaneously, a product that I saw on a feed in the last week. It's from a company called Guerrilla Products. It's their G cups. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So I'm going through my social feed, and somewhere, probably, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook, I saw something about these things here. So these are just eye cups, right? But when you buy a camera system, what you want to do is customize it to the way that you shoot. So I've done this before. So for instance, with my A7S camera, I found that the little eyepiece on the back of the camera was just too small, especially when I was shooting outdoors. So this is the XT4, and this is the, and again, I really like small companies that are making very specific products. This eye cup is made specifically for this camera series. So you can see which compatible cameras, but I believe it's XT2, XT3, maybe the XH1. You take off your eyepiece here, and I'll see if I can get this on somewhat quickly because I'm doing this live, and you kind of got to move it around and just find where it's notched. So I'm probably doing this in, there we go, bingo, and there it is, and it's on there. So what you've done is you've replaced your traditional small eyepiece with this larger one here, and of course what that's going to do is it's going to give you more surface area. It's going to give you really an additional point of contact. And when I'm outside shooting with a camera like this, especially with an ND filter, even if I have an external monitor on there, I just find that there are times, especially with an image stabilized lens or with IBIS in the camera body, I'm waiting for February 26th. Let's see what happens. That having an eyepiece like this makes a lot of sense. And it's not a teardrop style design. So you'll see this here. This is actually the eyepiece for the C200, which is very comfortable. You can block all of the light out with this, but you really have to flip it over if you're going to be using right or left eye. And so what they've done is they've created one for that camera system, which is very similar in design to this, but I can put it onto the C200. So you can see that large area, and I think that this is a good design as well. It's not going to be for everybody. Some people are partial to this teardrop design, and they won't want this. But again, this will allow you to put it onto the camera, onto the EVF, and use it with either eye without turning it around and still get that light blocking, that point of contact, and all of that good stuff. They're inexpensive. They're about $27 US, so you're not breaking the bank. When you're using them with small mirrorless cameras like this, the one thing you do have to keep in mind is if you're switching between the eyepiece or the electronic viewfinder and the screen, then what you'll probably want to do is you'll want to probably bring that screen out so that you're basically clearing this. Because if you're using the screen back here, then this is large, which is the whole point, but it's going to be blocking the screen a little bit. With glasses, I think it really depends on the camera system. Just because of how small this eyepiece is on here, I find that when I'm using this, it's just a little floppy with my glasses. And so I would tend to use the diopter, and I would just go straight like this. This has a lot more surface area here. So if I was using this on the C200, I could actually see using my glasses with this. But again, that's really camera specific and just sort of the way the camera is designed. They recommend, if you're buying internationally, to buy through Amazon. So that's probably what I'm going to recommend. And it makes it easy because a lot of us are buying on Amazon anyway. Again, these are the G cups. They're made by Guerrilla Products, about $27 US. They make them for lots of different cameras. They also recommend that you recommend other cameras that you'd like to see these with. Thanks for sending these so I could check them out. It was amazing. It was almost instantaneous. I thought, are they really legit? Because some of those feeds you see for equipment are not. There's been a lot of false and fake peak design things on social, but not a lot of people are selling eyecups. And so I said, hey, let me just reach out. And a couple of days later, these showed up. And I have to say that if I'm shooting with this camera outside, and I'm shooting, you know, like this with one eye open, which I like to do. Yes, you could use it for photography, but for me, it'll probably be used mostly for video applications. That's all I got. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out Camera and Flask every week, our live stream with myself, Ben Barden, and Caleb Pike. Got a new series in the works, which will be coming up in 2 or 3 weeks. And Fujifilm, speaking of this company, has officially announced that on February 26th, they're going to announce the X-T4 and what those specs are. I'm super excited. That's all I got for you. And I'll see you guys next time on Gearbox.